Greetings, everyone, and welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my weekly segment, The Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges, and it's my one-card pull for each sign of the Zodiac. I tend to do it arranged around the elemental qualities of each Zodiac sign. It's a newer format. I've been using it for a little while, and I like it. I try to emphasize our relationships, specifically what may be going on with the love department, but also very strong friendships, romantic situations, or possibilities. So we do that by using the wonderful Amy Zerner, Monte, Farber, Enchanted Tarot deck. That's the Three of Pentacles from that. It's a beautiful oracle. They've just released the 25th anniversary of that. We've had the original set for years. It's an awesome deck. There's so much about this deck. I mean, it's good for affirmations. It's good for some spell work. It's good for divination. You can't go wrong. So we also do a collective card for the day. And for that, I use from my older format, I did the collective card pull from the Isis Tarot, which is neither a tarot, but is, well, it is not a tarot. It is more of an oracle or fortune-telling type deck. Some of the imagery is, of course, incorporated from tarot images and also a smattering of Egyptian and Greco-Greek mythology. So I'm going to pull that card. Use my magic wand. And we have pulled the palm trees. It's number 30. Could represent somebody with fertile ideas and talents, imaginative powers, fantasy, fairy tales, purity. A period to make good of all your talents, work in plenty, experience much good from your children, grateful for what you have achieved. Fertility is once again mentioned. So that's the palm tree. And so that sounds like a really good omen for us here in the emotional realms, because of course we always try to apply the meanings of any card towards that idea of the romantic perspective. So there you have it. I think this is a fertile time for people to dream and imagine what they want their love to be like. Very nice. Okay, so as mentioned before, I do a one-card pull for each sign of the Zodiac, but I tend to arrange it around the Zodiac elemental qualities. And, sometimes I got to watch with that because I might lose my place and, call a different number of piles. So I've been thinking about how I can simplify that, and nothing comes to mind. We'll just have to see what we can do here. So I'm going to shuffle these up as best as I can. They are a little thick and heady. That is for sure. I literally have to demonstrate the full grip of my piano fingers, as they say, to do this adequately. But perhaps we have achieved it. So let's try one more time. Oh my. Oh, that gruntiness about me. I'm really putting some muscle into this. Oh, so let's try this one more time. Okay. Air to the far right, fire, water, and earth. So in true Zodiac fashion, we start with Aries. And we have Judgment. Judgment. I think Aries are going to have to review their feelings about how they look at emotionality. Perhaps it's mostly their own or in general. I think they're going to have to revise maybe something about what they feel about their current relationships, that maybe they have been more judgmental than they should be, or that maybe they are really looking for something else in the relationship, a higher ground of some sort. So it may be that kind of situation. Okay, so then from Aries we move to Taurus, an earth sign. Five of Pentacles. Taurus people may feel emotionally very adrift and alone this week. They may feel that no one understands them, and yet this is not the reality. It is a difficult time for Tauruses, but they should not be so self-absorbed that they don't notice that it's a difficult time for other people too. And that so what they put out maybe is being put out by others too. And so try to consider that it is a rough time emotionally for a lot of people right now. So then from Taurus, we go to Gemini, an air sign. And just as there is a dual nature to Gemini, we have the Lovers, the dual sign of the Lovers. And of course, this talks about two-sidedness in perhaps the sense of your relationships, how you view your relationships, especially your most significant ones. It may be that there's a time for you to consider significant changes in your relationship. This may be that there's some big thing happening where maybe it may be devotion to an actual goal of the relationship. It's kind of interesting. It may be that there's also some very contrary feelings between the people involved in this. Now, if a relationship doesn't apply for Geminis, then it may be saying too that you are moving towards making a path or choice towards a relationship. It may be something you're already going through at this moment. Not sure I feel that strongly. But yes, it sounds like some interesting changes or choices. So then we're going from Gemini to Cancer, which is a water sign. And Cancer has the Seven of Swords. And I think Cancerians, maybe you're going to be feeling that there's some things you need to do under cover of darkness in a way. You may feel that as an agent of love, whether it's your own or someone else's, there may be need to be a little bit more on the covert side. And I think you're working on the side of the angels, but you're either trying to hide this for some reason or hide it from somebody in particular. So I almost wonder too, like if maybe a Cancer person is somewhere involved in the process of a matchmaking that isn't necessarily about themselves, although I could twist the logic on why it could be. So it's very interesting for Cancer. Okay, so now we're back to our fire signs with Leo. I hear the cat at the door scratching. Oops, sorry, kitty, you're not getting in. And Leo, Queen of Wands. Leo, I think, is in perfect command of what they want to do, especially in relationships or romances. This could strongly imply that we're really in control of the relationship issue that's going on in our lives at this moment, or even if we're trying to move towards a new relationship or create the environment towards a new relationship, this signifies a real power stance here. And I think it's all systems go for Leos. I think they're perfectly in command of all of their charisma and attractive abilities. So then from the fire sign Leo, we move to the earth sign Virgo. And another 7, it's the 7 of Pentacles. And Virgos have been hard at work on nurturing their relationships, or planting them, putting them into the ground, so to speak, creating the nurturing, caring environment for relationships. But it may be that Virgos are more infatuated with those trappings, creating that, and maybe they're not ready to quite pull ahead into that harvest of where the relationship would naturally lead. It could be that Virgos are just thinking they want to look at the situation and think about it a little bit longer. You've put some effort into whatever it takes for you to be in a relationship. Maybe it's just more about yourself, putting yourself in your perfect zone to be ready to be in a relationship. But it could also be, creating all the ground marks of a relationship. You're just not ready to really proceed, though, with what you may have. And so from Earth sign Virgo, we are back to air signs with Libra and Queen of Pentacles. Libra, you are looking at all the ways that your feelings of love and romance, partnerships, relationships, is giving you a muse, so to speak, a creative light about you, a nurturing light. And I think maybe the Libras are finding that whether it's true or not, they're really, really, really in love with being loved by others for these things, for being this nurturing, talented, beautiful person who just wants to be the best for them. So I think Libras are kind of like an interesting alternate version of a fairy godmother. It's not to say that you're, beyond it, being in a relationship, but maybe you like sort of creating the magic around relationships. So that's an interesting thought for Libra. So from the air sign Libra, we move to the water sign Scorpio, my own sign, in fact. Scorpios, perhaps there's a bit of activity going on in our relationships, in our romance life. It may be Scorpios that you feel like you are actually, in some sort of sense of competition or working hard to get ahead in a relationship or a situation that could lead to one, or just in friendships. It could also just be talking about how maybe some Scorpios are looking at being in dating circles, dating clubs, online or otherwise, where maybe they are just looking at the prospects of being able to move around in dating type ventures. So I see Scorpios as really wanting to thrust forward, pun intended. And then from Scorpio, the water sign, we are moving to the fire sign Sagittarius with the Four of Swords. Sagittarians, in terms of relationships, you're probably wanting to have some distance or take some time to kind of relax from it. You might need an actual hiatus from certain relationships, or from at least the ponderings of your own emotional life. Maybe you just don't want to think about your emotional life in general, whether it's a good and fulfilling one or not, whether you're lonely or not. Maybe you just don't want to really think about this at this time, Sagittarian. So you're mostly just pulling away from the emotional thing. Maybe you're finding more pursuits in philosophy that would sort of fit you, or other things that maybe are related to the trappings of the season even. So from the fire sign Sagittarius, we are moving now to the earth sign Capricorn. And Capricorns have the Hanged Man. And Capricorns, you are probably really starting to understand that sometimes a partnership really involves a lot of sacrifice. And even if the partnership is not necessarily romantic, but even if it is, then in any of these ways, these things may magnify, and that there are certain things that demand a clarity in terms of being truthful about what you feel, the truthfulness of your emotions. So Capricorns, maybe they're a little like Scorpio in that regard. Like a friend of mine says, they just need sometimes to really um, consider what they really have to give up in order to achieve what they really want. So then from that earth sign, we're all the way back to the air signs again with Aquarius. And Aquarius maybe hits the jackpot in a way. Well, not really, but they have the Seven of Hearts, which is, of course, the Seven of Cups. And it's a beautiful card. And I think Aquarians really, it sort of suits their nature, because I think sometimes Aquarians are in love with everybody. And so this may represent the idea that Aquarians aren't really ready to settle down in terms of maybe a romantic relationship or any number of types of friendships or relationships or social things. Aquarians, this is the time for you maybe to really be thinking about many ways you are involved in socialness and social affairs. So Aquarians, go to your vegan cooking class and then go online to chat with the ancient alien people, and then maybe go to your online polyamory session to talk to all the people that you have emotional feelings about. This is your week to do that, Aquarians. So then finally we are on Pisces, the last water sign and the last of our signs. I want to thank everybody for coming this week. And Pisces has the Tower. Pisces, within the realm of relationships, you have something to learn that's important this week. There may be a big upset in what you felt was a status quo, something you felt really assured about with your relationship, but now you're not so sure. Yet still you realize there is something more for you to perceive or learn from this. So I think if there was something devastating in a friendship or a relationship, the good news is you know this can be repaired, this can be changed, this can alter with new meaning and resonance for you. So I think it's a good thing, despite the fact that you may not have wanted it to happen. It probably needed to happen. So that's what I had for all of the signs of the zodiac in my emotional exchanges. And I want to remind everybody to tune in tomorrow to our happy hour, which will be at its normal time of 10 a.m. And it's a 1-hour session, a happy hour, with a message from the divine, the spirited message for you, a positive message for each person. So come early so you can get that reading. And then don't forget Sunday to tune into Banshee's Material Matters, which is the more or less corollary to this show. And she does for the signs of the elements and the zodiac what I do here for emotionality. She's doing it for our physical material well-being. So check that out. Also, don't forget our live streams twice a week and any number of other programs that occasionally pop up on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. We're reaching closer and closer to our 3,000th follower. We just passed 2,800 or so. And also follow us on Facebook. We do a daily card of the day. So check it all out. We'd love to have you follow us on all our platforms. And once again, thanks for coming today. Take care and bye.